Hey everybody, welcome to our team call. It's Wednesday night and I'm so excited. I am so excited about our guest speaker that I'm getting ready to interview. And let me do this. There we go. So that when, oh. Let's handle that. Now, much better, right? There we go. Okay, so congratulations everybody who's having a super amazing week. And before we get started, if it's okay, Robin, if you can unmute and tell your story of what happened last night and what's happening right now to you, it would be really awesome. And if you can't, and if you're whoever that is, who's the background noise? Maybe I got it. Okay, go ahead.
Me? Okay. So I'm sending text messages as I tell this story because I'm sending out 3 new recommended value packs right now. But so let me tell it really quick. So we had Peter Greenlaw coming to Annapolis on Monday evening, and at the last minute he canceled. Unfortunately, his flight never got off the ground in Chicago, which was devastating because I think Adam did an amazing job recruiting and letting people know. I think we probably would have had 50 or 60 or possibly 70 people in the room. So we were all a little sad that he wasn't coming. So Monica Sisk had the great idea. She said, let's meet up anyway. We all have babysitters. And I said, okay, don't twist my arm. So we met up at the Blackwall Hitch, which is a bar about 15 minutes away from my house. And I was so hungry, and the babysitter was coming at 6, so I got there early, knowing that everybody else was getting there at 7. So I got there at about 6:30. And of course, I'm going to say this, Genevieve, I bellied up to the bar, and I said, bartender, get me a Chardonnay. And I sat down, and I ordered a glass of wine and a salad. And honestly, took a look at my left, and there were 2 gentlemen sitting there, looked like they were having a good time for happy hour. And I said, what are you guys doing in a place like this? And we just started a conversation, and he said, I'm waiting to see what your salad looks like before I order my own. So we just started talking. He knows network marketing. And we just had a really great conversation, pushed, towards the end of the conversation. And I asked for my bill, and the bartender said that he had already taken care of it. And the salad was like $18, and the glass of wine, I'm sure, was $10. So it was probably $30. He paid for it without telling me he paid for it, which I thought was really nice. And I thanked him profusely. And then basically said, obviously, let's stay in touch. Give me your business cards. And we switched contact information. I gave them my business cards. Actually, Yancey didn't have one. I gave him mine. And the next day he took a picture of his own and sent it to me. So I had already followed up with the other guy, Randall. And anyway, I get a phone call from Yancey today, and he's like, all right, I'll give you 30 days. I'll give you 30 days. And I said, I don't know what that means, but I called him up, and we talked immediately. And I went through the 3 different programs, and he said, I'll do the best one. Why not do the best one? And I said, okay. So literally I met him on Monday night. He sent me a business card yesterday. I said, thank you so much for the food. I called him. We talked today, got him signed up with the value pack. And he literally just called me from another bar with 3 friends on speakerphone. And he said, everybody wants to do the same pack I did here, they're ready to sign up. So basically right now I'm sending recommended value packs to 3 different people. And my recommended value pack has just not any of their flavor choices, but it just says Yancey's friends. That's all it says. And I'm sending out to 3 different people. So I'll keep you guys informed, and of course I'm going to write to Yancey next and say, convert to associate, you crazy man.
That's awesome.
That's what happened.
And it can happen just like that, right, Robin?
Absolutely. But you have to be open about communicating and meeting new people, and most importantly, about sharing your story and being passionate. That's my feedback.
Well, Jamie, is that a great way to open our call? She was drinking, she was passionate, she was sharing
all the best things.
I know, right? So everybody, this is Dani Lozano. I met her, when was that live that you did?
January? It was right beginning of January, I feel like.
And I'm just gonna let you tell your story, Dani. Your product experience, kind of your whole, how you found out about Isagenix, your product experience, like kind of your whole journey up till now.
Yeah, I would love to. So I actually, I started in January of 2017. I actually started a little bit prior to that, but I was still nursing my daughter at the time, so I wasn't fully in on the program. And my coach is Diana, and she's incredible. And the reason I got started is because I had found myself in a weird place in my life. I had been with the same company for 15 years. It was the only company I'd ever worked with as an adult. And I had lots of promotions, lots of success, really good mentorship. I still to this day feel very blessed. I got the opportunity to work with them. And while I was out on maternity leave with my daughter, who's now just turned 4 today, actually, and I have an older son who's 6, I was out on maternity leave. She was literally 2 months old, and I got the call that my job, I live in Maryland now, and my job had relocated to Tennessee. And throughout my entire career with them, I was always really, really mobile. Like, I was willing to go. That's how I ended up from California to North Carolina and then up to Maryland. And I had a good relationship with my boss, and he really kind of felt like I was going to be like, great, Tennessee, let's go. And I remember just being like, I can't move. Like, we have this house we just bought, and I just had my second baby, and I've got a network here and friends, and like, we're not going to move. And I was laid off. I was laid off from the only job I had ever known. And I had, 2 kids, and I was in sort of a little bit of an identity crisis. And so they kept me on payroll for a little bit. And then come January, I found myself unemployed for the first time in my life. And I started really realizing I didn't recognize myself anymore. And that was like a big, like, pivotal change that made me realize it. But there was a lot of factors. I was in really, really great shape before I had my first child. I had been kind of a yo-yo dieter. I was in the gym all the time. I started counting calories all the time, like all those things before I had my son. And then when I had my son, I gained 90 pounds with him, lost some of it, gained 70 with my daughter, and none of that was coming off. And I was really like, looking back on it now, I recognize it. I was really, really miserable. I was tired. I was unhealthy. I just did not recognize myself when I looked in the mirror. And I felt myself starting to hold resentment against my kids, because the only thing I could connect this unhappy version of myself to was the fact that I was a mom, a relatively new mom. My daughter's a newborn, and my son was 2.5. And I started feeling like maybe this is just the way that mom Dani is supposed to be. Like, this is just, who I am. And then Diana, who I had met through kind of a new mom support group, started posting some pictures of herself in this really cute little black bikini. And for those of you guys that know Diana, you know that she's not a bikini poster she's not really posting a lot of pictures of herself at all on Facebook, but especially not in a bikini. And I thought, you know what, before I decide that this is just mom me, I'm going to give whatever she's doing a try. Like, I don't even care. Like, I'm just going to call her and do it. So I did. And she and Robin actually got on the phone with me and talked me through the entire program. I was doing like a shake and a bar here and there, but they actually talked me through the whole system with the cleansing and everything. And I was like, God, like, none of this sounds like anything I'm going to want to do. But you know what? I'm going to give it 6 months, maybe a year. And then at least I can say I did it. And I can write it off and be miserable. So I was a huge skeptic, and I started focusing on it and doing it. And luckily for me, I actually found another job pretty quickly. So I was back in a new company in April, still going through the motions of the program and everything. And the goal I had set for myself in 12 months, I was able to hit that plus 5 more released in about 6 months. And it was so much more than that to me. So I remember people would reach out to me and ask me what I was doing, and I would tell them, I'm doing these shakes and this cleanse thing that, I didn't really understand a lot of the science at the time, but I was like, more than that, like, I don't know why, but I feel incredible. For those of you that, are moms out there and you remember having small kids, or maybe you still do, we all talk about that mom fog. And for the first time in like 3 years, I had felt like the mom fog lift. Like my mental clarity was back. I was able to multitask again. I was sleeping better. I had more energy, and I was starting to feel even better than I did before I had had kids. And it was life-changing for me. At the time, Diana was really great in sharing to me like the opportunity about the business. And, I was posting about how excited I was and people were interested, but I really had no interest in the business side of Isagenix. It was, a little unusual because for me, it wasn't that I didn't believe in network marketing, because I was actually brought up in an Amway household, and my parents had a really successful Amway business. In fact, I think my mom is actually on the call tonight. So thanks for attending, Mom. But I grew up with this, knowing what network marketing can do for a family and for a life. And my mom was a stay-at-home mom. My dad retired when I was in the 3rd grade. He never missed a field trip. We went on these great vacations that, I didn't realize then, but they were all Amway. My parents were winning trips left and right with Amway, and I was friends with all of their friends' kids. So it was like every time we went on a family vacation, all my friends came too. And this was just how life was for me. And so I had a full-hearted belief in network marketing, but I had just had a good success in the corporate world, and I really enjoyed my corporate job. I've always worked in call center management, and I felt like I had a really unique ability to inspire and motivate frontline employees and connect them to a purpose bigger than themselves and get them engaged in their job. And I just really loved that. I loved being able to inspire and motivate people, and I felt like a call center was where I belonged. And so I jumped from call center in my first company to call center in my next company, and I was having good success. And the idea of doing network marketing, to me, while I knew it worked and I knew it was great for some people, I was just going to stay in corporate America and make my way up the ladder. So a couple of friends of mine at this time, I'm, now lost the weight. It's like summer of 2017, got into a different network marketing business. Isagenix, actually, their premier product is Lip Sense. And I fell in love with the makeup and the skincare and the products. And my friend, who might also be on, I always joke around that she tricked me. She told me that if I signed up to be on her team, I could get a discount on the products. And at the rate I was buying makeup, I really needed a discount because I was buying too much. I bought everything. And so I signed up, and I told her it was just for the discount. I wanted nothing. Like, I remember she posted on like our team page, like, everybody welcome Dani. And I was like, oh, like, why do you have to make like a big deal about it? I don't want this to be a business. And slowly I just started getting into the community that was a part of that network marketing, as all of these businesses have that. That's why it's network marketing. And I realized that I really liked what I was finding from a community standpoint, and that ability to kind of inspire and motivate people, and that kind of thing that fuels me was available there. And I started doing trainings similar to this with my Isagenix sisters at the time, and kind of, getting great feedback, and people were going live, and watching me live and watching me on training calls and asking questions and asking me to do different topics. And all of those things that I loved in my corporate job were finding a place now in this network marketing role, without all the things I didn't love about my corporate job. It was a very different environment, but it still gave me that same artistic output, if you will, to be able to do that. And so I did that for a while, and I had a pretty successful business there. I was able to recruit a couple people to sell with me. I was really successful selling the makeup and skincare. To me, it was a great product. It was very easy to sell. So we used to, if you guys know anybody who sells it, you'll know they always wear the stripes of the Lip Sense on their hands, so that when you're in public, you can show people that it doesn't come off. And I did several videos all over Facebook going like this to show people that it doesn't come off, right? So I was always doing it. And at some point I realized I was spending a lot of time on it, and I just wanted to see if there was something else out there. My husband had started going back to school for marketing and really wanted to build a business with me. He's the most supportive man in the world. I'm so blessed that he's my partner in all of this. And he really wanted to do the marketing for whatever business we landed on. And he was always like, you had to pick makeup. Like, of all the things, you had to pick makeup, because obviously he doesn't wear makeup. So that was not a natural, but he did. He created all sorts of stuff for us. And it just got to a point where I started feeling like maybe I am made more for network marketing than I realized. Like all these things I thought I could only get out of a corporate job, I'm finding in this other space. And there's so much more freedom and flexibility, and the culture is just more of what I wanted. And so we set off to see if we could find another network marketing business that we could do together. And we were both at this time Isagenix product users. Keep in mind now we're like almost 2 years into our anniversary. I've been able to maintain my goal weight now for quite some time. He's doing the same thing. I mean, we're in love with the products. And so one day I called Diana, it was back in December, and I only called her to get network marketing advice. Like I wasn't even at that time thinking I was going to do Isagenix. I just wanted, she was a good friend of mine. She was very successful in network marketing and just wanted to see what she thought about what I was thinking about doing. And she was like, Dani, you know, you might want to give Isagenix another look. Like, I don't know if you've ever really sat down and like considered the compensation plan, but it's pretty good. And you know, you've actually been in it for 2 years and you have a team underneath you. And I was like, okay, like what? Like, I know I referred like 4 or 5 people, but, and she's like, well, like, because of the way the comp plan works, you actually have like 320 people underneath you right now. And my Senegence team at that time was like 30. So I was like, oh my, like, I don't need, okay, so I need you and I need Robin to come to my house, talk to me and Omar and figure this out. And Robin and her laid it out for us. We were at My Kitchen Island and they showed us where we were in the business, that we were already constant product users. So that just made sense. I loved the product. It was natural. It doesn't even feel like selling to me at all. I mean, it's just, there's a secret that we have here that we just want to share with the world. It literally changed my life and made me not just a better mom, but the role model I want to be for both my kids, especially my daughter. I don't want her to ever feel like you can't be healthy, happy, have a fun, have energy, feel a little sexy, and still not be like a great mom. Like you can do all those things. And it's given me the ability to like show her that ideal role model, very much what I had from my mom growing up. And so it was a natural fit. And I dove right in, and between Diana and Robin and Dawn, you and the rest of the team, I mean, I'm not going to name everybody because it would take us the entire phone call, but I've just been able to accomplish so much more because of the mentorship and the community and the group that we have. And so the big news is, as it's been evolving over the last like 7 months or so, I found myself in another layoff situation with the second company I've been a part of. And when I got laid off from my first company, my immediate instinct, the only thing I knew, the only option in my mind that I had was to go out and find another job. The day I got laid off, the first call I made was to my husband, and he's like, "Are you sad?" And I was like, "Are you kidding? I am so excited. Like, I feel like we've just been released to do Isagenix full time. Like, let's do this. If there's ever been a better time, it's now." And so I called my husband, then I called my mom, and then I called Robin. And I was like, "I'm yours. Like, let's do this." Because I just know that this is my calling. This is where I belong. And so that's kind of the journey that's gotten me to where I am at now.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Look, I feel like here you are with this beautiful fire and ice lipstick, and I'm feeling very pale in comparison. Vibrancy and anyway, but I'm gonna keep going anyway. Okay, so here's what I heard.
Yeah.
Because I tell people all the time, especially people who may have tried network marketing before in the past and not been so successful, right? Or it was kind of a little side gig, or I say, you know what, you may have tried it before in the past and not been super successful, but it's possible that it wasn't the right time, right? It's possible that it wasn't the right product. It's possible that it just wasn't the right company, like the corporate vision didn't match yours. And it's possible that either you weren't getting the mentorship or the upline support, not the upline support with people actually helping you build your business physically with volume and people, right? Or it wasn't the right compensation plan. Like there's a lot of reasons, like you said, you were in network marketing and you love the product, right? You love the product.
Wearing it today. Yep.
Love the product. You love the company, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
The timing was okay.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It was, you were doing it and you were doing the parties and you loved that and you loved the whole, and you loved the community.
Yeah.
And so I think though, when, and it didn't even occur, when you met with Diana or you called Diana to get her advice and you heard that while you were out showing people lipstick, getting healthy, getting your mom brain back or your whatever, while all that was happening, your team was growing and you didn't even know it.
No idea.
Like, where else in network marketing does your team grow and you don't even know what's happening, right?
That's, when I said before, I was brought up in a network marketing household. I've always had a very open mind to network marketing. But when I will never forget, like, going through some of the motions with Diana and in that first month or so, when things would happen, I would call her and be like, wait a minute. So if somebody's on, like, if I enroll somebody and they enroll somebody on their inside leg, do I get paid on that? And she's like, yes. I was like, really though? Cause I don't, that doesn't make, and she's like, no, if they're under you, you're gonna make that BV's gonna roll up to you. And I kept looking for the catch. I kept calling her and being like, I don't, but this, and she's like, nope, all of it. And it's almost too good to believe until you're in it and experiencing it. And then you start seeing it kind of come to life and understanding how it all works. And I think everybody in a network marketing business, whether they've had experience in it or they're currently in one, teamwork is always a big part of it. There's always a great sense of team community. Like, we're just like-minded people. We're all business partners. We're all having the same kind of focuses. We all want to help one another out. And uplines get paid off their downlines. And there's always that kind of team thing. But Isagenix takes it to a whole new level with the idea of a binary system where you're not going any wider. I mean, eventually you are if you make it to that level, obviously, but in the initial parts, and people are just, as an all team effort, putting people underneath you. It really, this is a team sport. Like, this is a true, in my experience with what I've experienced before, I thought it was a team sport. Now I understand what a team sport really looks like because of the way that the compensation structure is designed. I've never seen anything like it.
And so your current situation, like, so you're taking the leap of faith.
Yeah, I am. And I'm not going to lie. I'm a little terrified. I'm not going to say that I have it all figured out. I'm not, for those of you that are watching right now and you're in the business and you understand it, I'm not currently cycling like 10 times a week. Like, I'm not at a place right now where I'm financially going to be able to replace my corporate income with my Isagenix income. But I see it. It is crystal clear in my mind. And the other thing that is propelling me and making me know, or is helping me understand that this is the right time to do it, is the team support that I have. I just don't feel like I can fail. I know I'm going to work hard. I'm going to work hard either this or I'm going to work hard at a corporate job. I've got the work ethic. I'm not afraid to talk to people, obviously. Those skills that I have that translate really well to corporate translate really well here. The difference is, do I want to put all that energy into making somebody else's financial future, or do I want to put it into my own? And for the first time in my life, I'm feeling very, very confident that it's my time to now take that energy and invest it into myself versus somebody else's vision. I'm ready to do it for myself.
Well, your confidence is like radiating out of every pore that you have, seriously. And so do you, I mean, we talked about timing, we talked about product, we talked about company, we talked about compensation plan, and you've made a lot of references to teamwork, but you have, in my opinion, three of the best coaches, upline support, mentors, whatever you want to call them. I mean, between Robin and Diana and Adam, who all run Team OC and Sunshine Living together. I mean, lucky isn't the right word for sure, they are a powerful combination to be able to tap into, right?
Oh, blessed beyond measure. I mean, we also have 2 IsaBody honorable mentions on our team that I'm at my disposal. We have personal trainers. We have all sorts of people in all different aspects of their Isagenix journey and wanting different things out of it. You know, Opie Buchanan on our team lost 142 pounds. And then you've got some people, and Robin's lost 20 pounds, and they have very different stories, but both of them are so fascinating, and they're so willing to share. And what that does for me is I have a story that I know resonates with a lot of people. But when I get somebody who's saying to me, hey, you know, I have a good guy friend of mine who doesn't need to lose weight, but he wants to bulk up. He wants to put on the muscle. And he's like, what should I use? I can't necessarily speak from experience on that, obviously, but I can quickly send out a SOS to Adam, to Opie, to Brian, to Jairus, and be like, what do I tell this guy? And they're like right there helping. And it's all people who have just loved and embraced the lifestyle. So it's not like we sat in, and there's nothing wrong with training. Don't get me wrong. Training's great, but we didn't just sit into a training and go regurgitate what we learned. Like, we're living it. We're living it. We can experience that from our own personal experience. And that is what gives me the belief in this product line. And to me, it's an answer for everybody. And with the team support that we have, it makes it so easy. I don't have to be an expert on the AMP line. I've become one over the last couple of months because I've been so inspired by some of my teammates to get started in it. But I can still talk really well about it and connect people with people that are, because we've got all that knowledge in our team and all these people willing to share. One, because they're just great people, but two, we all rise a little higher when somebody enrolls or somebody tries a new product. I mean, literally, there's a financial benefit for most of us, not all of us, but for most of us, to get so far down the line and get somebody interested in this. So it like hits every sort of base that I was looking for in a company that I felt like I could really be a part of.
So because there's people in your downline that you actually don't even know, or you haven't even touched, or you never had any connection with.
Yeah.
They came into your downline before you even kind of started paying attention, right?
There's literally, of the 325 that I started the business with. I mean, I started at 0 because that's where everybody starts. By the time I paid attention, I was at 325. Of those, I think that like maybe I'm going to be generous and say 8 of those were people that throughout my journey said they were interested. And I was like, oh, I don't talk about that. Go to Diana. And she enrolled them and she was awesome and put them in the right place and all that. So they all got good spots on the tree too. It was really nice. We got my husband in, so he's got a good spot on the tree, which is another amazing thing about this business. I've never seen anything like that either. But it's, the 325, I'd say I do know now because I've met them. There's people that I know that I'll go look in the tree and be like, oh, you're on my down. I had no idea. I'm probably never going to meet 200 of them. I mean, that's just the way that the business works.
I don't know. It's pretty, I say all the time, it's what attracted me. Honestly, I actually, when we were talking the other day, I didn't tell you my story. Because I just kept calling the girl who signed me up, and I just kept saying, hey, send me 2 more.
Mm-hmm.
Send me 2 more. I didn't even know I had an account, right? I'm just like, send me 2 more. So she finally said, do you think you could order your own stuff? I'm like, oh, okay, how do I do that? And she sent me my login information, right? So I logged in, and I said, I'm looking around, and I'm like trying to figure out how to do everything. I'm looking around, and I'm like, and I see my name, and I see like other people's names under my square. And I called her and I said, who are all these people on my thing? Very technical, right? Who are all these people on my thing? She said, oh, well, while you were busy getting healthy, those were just other people that actually, signed up. I said, yeah, but why are they on my thing? And she said, that's just the way it works.
Yeah.
I said, yeah, but why are they there? She said, because you're eligible to get paid on everything they purchase. And I said, what? I said, so I'm going to get paid on your work. You're my sponsor, and I'm going to get paid on your actual work. She said, yeah, just the way it works. I said, okay, let me look a little more at this opportunity. If I'm going to get paid on my boss's work,
Right.
Upline's work, if I'm going to get paid on somebody else's work that I didn't even have anything to do with, I need to look at this. And that's literally that piece of the compensation plan is what got me in. Like, how could you not? Like, how could you not, right?
Yeah, even if you're just, looking to get your products paid for, if you're not thinking, I want to retire from my job and do this, I mean, just that part alone, I've never seen, and granted, there's lots of companies out there, so I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but you always hear, oh, it's a pyramid scheme. Like, you always hear that, and we know we're not, and we know network marketing's not. But when do you hear about the downline getting paid on the upline's work? Like, that is... That's crazy. And I'm still reaping the benefits of that now that, I've got all these people and they're buying, and they're not all active today. Like, don't get me wrong, but it's just still incredible that all that work that was put in before I even gave it a glance is work that I'm getting to benefit from now. And it gave me a huge head start. And it made it so that, we could go Monday. So it wasn't last Monday, but the Monday before, when I got pulled in. I've been with this company now for almost 3.5 years. And when I got pulled in to be told that, my job was no longer needed, that could have been a really devastating conversation for me. And with Verizon, it was a soul searching, like, what am I going to do now? This is my identity. It was very hard for me for a little while. And this conversation could have been exactly that same way. And I'm not going to lie, guys. I loved my job. I skipped out of there. I was so happy because I knew I had this voice in the back of my head saying, you love the product. You love the compensation plan. You love the team. And now that I've started, I've probably enrolled now maybe 30, 35 people since January. And every morning I'm getting a new message from somebody telling me that they've hit their 50-pound milestone, or that, their spouse made a comment about how, cute they looked in something that they were wearing, how their doctors are taking them off of medications because they're just getting they're feeling healthier and they're getting this great nutrition and these different things. And we know we can't, we don't cure diseases, and we don't do those, we know that it's not that, but it's this superb nutrition. I don't care how many bowls of spinach and kale you eat, you're never going to get the nutrients we provide. And when your body has this in itself, your body's designed to heal itself. It's designed to do remarkable things. And we shut that off by just the environment and the toxins. And now I'm getting really into the science, because the more I knew it worked for me, but I didn't really trust it was going to work for anybody else. And then being connected with the team and seeing it, I was like, okay, so it worked for these people. But nothing has been more rewarding to me since I've started than the messages I'm getting from other people saying that it's changing their lives too. And it's just made me realize that we are sitting on like the world's best kept secret. And, thank goodness Isagenix doesn't market, because they use that marketing money for us so we can get paid in this great compensation plan. But a part of me feels like if they're not going to market it, we better, because I told my circle, I post on Facebook all the time. I have no shame. I do not care. Everybody that I know is going to get these products in their body at some point in our future. Like, it's just I'm not going to stop, because I believe in it that much that I just don't care. I'm going to annoy you till you say yes, and then you can thank me afterwards, because I know it's going to help, whether it's, the daily vitamins, the AMP products, just the e-shots. I stopped drinking coffee. It was for an 11-day challenge I was running with some people that I was helping coach. And so I just thought, I'm going to challenge myself and not drink coffee for the 11 days. I was drinking 2 cups a day easily. And I picked up e-shots. I started drinking an e-shot every day. Or when I need it every other day. And that was back at like June, and I haven't drank coffee since, and I don't even miss it. Like, we went camping, and where I would normally be worried about like, where am I going to find my coffee while we're camping? It never even crossed my mind, and it wasn't intentional. I never set out to give it up for good, but it's like the system just never ceases to amaze me. Like, it just never ceases to amaze me that these things that I thought I was dependent on, I no longer need, because my body's functioning at a higher level. And now I get the opportunity to tell people about it full time. Hell yeah, I'm going to say yes to that. Like, I would do it for free. Don't tell Isagenix this, but I would do it for free. That's how much I believe in the product. And now I get to do it for a living, and a living that's going to give me a residual income so that someday I can pass that on to my kids. That's a no-brainer. Nothing in my corporate life was ever going to be able to be passed on to my kids. That's not how corporate life works. And now I'm creating an asset that can provide for them, to me, I'd be crazy to say I'm going to go back to corporate America.
Well, I got to tell you, if I wasn't already sold, can I join your team? Can I join your team?
Dawn, I'd love to have you on my team. Tell you what, just go and act. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Well, I knew from the minute I saw you. Right? I saw you do a live. I never met you. You popped up on my screen. I saw you do a live. I said, that girl is going to the top.
Thank you.
You have everything that it takes, and you're incredible. And I'm not going to lie, when I heard you got laid off, I was a little worried about you, but I was also like, yes!
Right?
So great! Right on, let's go.
I'll be honest. So we went to ICU in Atlantic City at the beginning of May. So for anybody that doesn't know, it was a corporate event. It was a training event. It was my first Isagenix event. Omar, my husband, came with me. We made a little vacation out of it. So my mom stayed home with our kids, and we got to go to Atlantic City for a few nights. And in the breakouts, like when we were able to go to lunch or dinner or whatever, we sat there and we just, the vision grabbed us. It just grabbed us in a way that nothing has. He's always been an advocate for network marketing, and he'll be the first to tell you one of the things that attracted him to me in the first place was that my parents were very successful in network marketing. He was like, I want to know more about that. So he started dating me. Whatever, it worked out. It's fine. So, but he's always been like, we got to find something to do. Like, you're meant for this. I want to do marketing. We're a perfect team. Like, forget about all this corporate stuff. Like, we need to do this. And I was always like, no. And so obviously I said before, when I got into Isagenix, he supported me, but kind of rolled his eyes a little bit because it was makeup. And getting to go to this event in Atlantic City together, and we're sitting at lunch. I'll never forget. We're at this like little sushi restaurant we had found right across the street from the event. It was like really little place, maybe fit 20 people at best. And it overlooked the ocean. And we sat down. We got a sushi roll. We each got a beer because we're big beer drinkers. So yeah, I'm not going to lie. I drink beer all the time. So we got our beer, we got our sushi, and we're talking about what we learned and how we want to like incorporate into our business. And we just sat there and had this moment of, we're meant to do this. Like, this shouldn't feel like a vacation away from our jobs. Like, this needs to be our job. Like, this needs to be our life. Like, and it felt so real for us. And we both decided that at that point, we set a date that I was going to retire or quit my job. 12/16/2020 was the date we had set. It felt like that was it was about 18 months. That was a good date of like, we'll set that as a goal and we're just going to work. We're just going to power to it. So we come back home. The first day I sit back at my desk job. So I think it was that Monday. I think the event ended on a Saturday. We stayed Saturday night, drove home Sunday. I get back to my desk job, the job that I love, with a team, a remarkable team of the most amazing people I'd ever worked with. And I sat down, and all I could think about is all the things I wanted to do with my Isagenix business. And it was just like this pull. And I knew in that moment, my heart's not in what I started calling my filler job anymore. It wasn't in it. My heart was in my Isagenix. I mean, every day at lunch, I was in my planner. I was on my phone. I was calling people. I was talking to people. I got a bunch of my coworkers on Isagenix. I don't know. I did. So whatever. And I started talking to him. I mean, we're just brainstorming. And so now we're at like mid-May. Come June, we decide, hey, we're going to figure this out to quit my corporate job, December 16th of 2019. We're like, we're going to just figure it out. Like, we got a couple months, we're going to do it. And so when they pulled me in that Monday and, set me free, that's really how I felt about it. Yeah. Was there hesitation? Sure. I'm not going to lie. Monday night, after I told everybody that I'm doing this, and Robin, my mom, and my husband, I was still on LinkedIn looking at jobs because I was like, okay, what if? And I'm a really big believer. I have a lot of faith. I'm a big believer in God, but whether it's God or the universe or whatever it is you believe in that pulls you, I'm a huge believer that if you're open to signs and to direction, you will always get it. And there wasn't a single job on LinkedIn that even appealed to me. Maybe that's because of my state of mind, whatever, but I closed my LinkedIn account. I'm still going to use it for social media and for network marketing, but that was like the last thing that I needed to be like, no, don't even look. There doesn't need to be a safety net. There doesn't need to be a plan B. I believe in myself. I believe in my husband. I believe in this business, and I believe in this team. And I know that this is where I'm supposed to be. So the doubt's gone, but it was there for a brief minute. But I'm just so grateful that I had such a different experience this time around being laid off than the first time. And that's because of the opportunity that this company presents.
And we're going to end right there because this is perfect. No, it was perfect. Thank you so much, Dani. Thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for sharing your doubts. Thank you for sharing your insights into network marketing and some looking at some different companies that you've been with. And I'm super excited. I got to tell you, I'm really, really excited to be able to work with you. I'm excited to have you full time.
Thank you. And one thing I just have to say, because this is one of my favorite moments of the whole story, and I didn't say it before, and I got to say it now, and then I promise I'll stop talking. But when I was a few months into my Isagenix business, and it was really starting to take off, one of my best customers was Diana, my Isagenix coach. And I will never forget, she sent me a text message and she said, although I wish it would have been Isagenix, I'm so happy that you found something that you're passionate about because you're a natural at this. And that always stood out with me because of the grace and the class and just the type of person that she was and she is to send a message like that. And it always stayed in the back of my mind that that's somebody I would want on my side, that I'd want to team up with. And I might have talked her into getting into Isagenix. She told me no. So I did try that angle. But that's why I finally came around to her, because she was always there to support me, whether or not I ever said yes to her team. And at the end of the day, those are the types of people you want in your corner.
Totally. That's a great story across the board. Okay, thanks everybody for joining us. I hope you learned a lot. I hope you're as excited as Dani is about getting, moving into the future. And we'll see you next week.